Current exhibit here at MMoCA is called the Chicago Imagists. It's the work of a group of artists who met and worked together in Chicago in the 1960s.
The collection is a gift from a former UW professor, and we visited with Stephen Fleishman, the director at the museum here, and told us all about the exhibit. The Chicago Imagists were a group of artists in the 60s and 70s who studied together at the Arts Institute in Chicago. They dealt with political and cultural topics of that time and created bright, offbeat pieces of art that sometimes intrigue and sometimes shock viewers. While much of their work didn't catch on right away, today it is exhibited across the country in museums and universities. How did the museum acquire these pieces?
Well, we had a pretty good collection of the Chicago Imagists to begin with, and then we had the wonderful opportunity to take the collection of Bill McLean, who is a emeritus professor at the UW in the sciences, and passionately collected these works over a span of 30 to 35 years, many of them directly from the artists themselves.
Let's see some of the pieces.
Absolutely. This is a work by Roger Brown. It's called Nuclear Freeze. Roger often, perhaps more than any of the other Imagists, took on political subjects. This one was painted soon after 3 Mile Island meltdown in Pennsylvania. I think his point is that we grow up believing in all kinds of myths, and the fact that scientists around us are simply saying these nuclear weapons have no danger, there's absolutely no possibility of anything negative happening, is a myth that we've heard many times and that we begin to absorb and believe.
Until you see this.
Until you see this.
This is interesting.
This is Smooch 3 by Ed Paschke. He was really known for his interest in sort of street life. He would paint subjects that had tattoos and looked like they were just characters walking down an average street in America. Obviously, his paintings are extraordinarily colorful, and that's something that most of the Imagists hold in common.
Almost looks like a child's toy.
This is Carl Worsom. He did these relief sculptures and freestanding sculptures. They are bold, they are sort of sci-fi like. His mind just thinks in curious ways.
I love that theme, really, the color with all of these Imagist work. They really pop. Now, this is very interesting. I love this. This is like a look inside an apartment building, right?
It is just that. Roger Brown is a commentator on urban and suburban life. As you look at this tower, there are little dramas playing out.
That's true. If you look in each little square, you can almost see the story playing out.
There's sort of an Alfred Hitchcock figure smoking a cigar or a cigarette in there. There's people that look in utter panic. Sometimes you see different dialogues. You don't know if the rooms are actually connected and people are speaking to each other or speaking to someone you can't see.
Are the Imagists as influential today as they were back in this period?
No, and this is really part of the reason that we took on the exhibition. They never really had the attention on either the East or the West Coast or around the world that they truly deserve. So
when you come to see this show, you're really getting an opportunity to see something that is no longer the same.
To get reacquainted with something that we feel is really important. And our hope is that we can bring a little attention and love to some artists who deserve it.
Thank you, Stephen. And there's still plenty of time if you'd like to see the display. The Chicago Imagists will be in the main gallery here at MMoCA through January 12th. And it's getting a lot of buzz. The New York Times wrote a big article about it and called it stunning.
It is stunning.
So don't miss it.
Interesting.